Hello, hello, happy Monday, and thank you for checking out Weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you had a good weekend. Today was another pretty comfortable day across the valley, but things are about to change, and we've got quite a bit to talk about this evening, so let's get right to it. First, as I always do in these videos, or often do, I should say, like to take a little bit of a look backward, and summer's been on a hiatus since the tail end of last week. Notice all those above average days going up through the middle of last week. We had 80s, even a 90-degree day back on the 18th. But since last Thursday, it's been much cooler, much more comfortable, and below average now for the fifth consecutive day today. We hit 74 at the airport today. Now, speaking of the airport, here's a look at the precipitation numbers so far in August. This has been one of our wetter spots. We're still running a surplus for the month of August, thanks largely to this 2.11 back on the 6th. Now, this is the airport. No one lives at the airport, and in a lot of places, especially Mahoning and Columbiana counties, it's a lot drier than this. Some places have had less than 2 inches of rain so far in August, with brown yards, a testament to that. And, well, even at the airport, one of our wetter spots, we've had, of course, 4 consecutive dry days, but our string of dry weather about to end. We've got some light rain pushing in from the west. This is actually a warm front this evening. Now, the air mass on the other side of this front is not significantly warmer, but it is more humid. Dew points are quite a bit higher in places such as Cincinnati and Indianapolis and Lexington, and even as nearby as Columbus and Sandusky. And those higher dew points are going to come in tonight and into tomorrow, leading to a warmer night tonight and a brief return of midsummer humidity for Tuesday. But that light rain pushes in this evening, and showers will kind of come and go overnight tonight. Timing on this pretty good, in that it's coming mostly after dark this evening, and it's rain that a lot of us could use, especially, again, south of Interstate 80. Showers here and there throughout the night. The last of these will probably depart by about daybreak tomorrow morning. Well, speaking of our Tuesday, I have hedged our Tuesday forecast in a drier direction once we lose any early morning showers. Now, if you're up early Tuesday morning, if you have an early morning commute to work, you probably still need the wipers on a few times, 5, maybe 6, even 7 o'clock in the morning. But by mid-morning into late morning, lunchtime into the first part of the afternoon, I don't think it's doing a whole lot. I think it's pretty cloudy. It's pretty muggy. It may look a little bit threatening, but I don't think it's going to be raining in a lot of places for a lot of the midday and afternoon. As we transition into the evening, another band of showers. This is with our cold front, and there might be a rumble of thunder with this. The timing's similar to this evening's wet weather, and that I think a lot of this is largely after dark Tuesday evening. Then, in the wake of this front, back to nice weather. Wednesday into Thursday, partly to mostly sunny and very comfortable stuff. Look at the dew points peaking perhaps in the middle and even upper 60s tomorrow into tomorrow evening, and then whoosh, here comes our cold front, rolls on through, and much more comfortable air with dew points in the 50s starting on Wednesday. All right, before we get back to our local weather, let's talk about the tropics briefly. I'll get my camera out of the way here so you can see. This down here is Dorian, compact, small, but fairly potent tropical system that is going to become interesting over the next handful of days as it moves off to the north and west and perhaps interacts with parts of Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, where it's very mountainous. Where it tracks through those islands will go a long way towards determining its strength and its eventual track as it maybe starts approaching the U.S. This is a look at our, what we call the spaghetti plot, showing a lot of different models, kind of looking like spaghetti noodles on a plate. And as you can see, the general idea here is a northwesterly fetch, or jog, I should say, perhaps coming into the Bahamas and into Florida eventually. And the timing on this would be very late this week into the weekend. That's a look at the modeling. The official National Hurricane Center track looks like this. First of all, right now, 60-mile-per-hour winds, gust to 70 with this system. Probably becomes a Category 1 hurricane as it approaches Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. Then, if it tracks right over the mountains, it may get torn apart pretty good. If it lucks out a little bit and kind of stays mostly over the water or has minimal interaction with the mountains, this may emerge north of Hispaniola as a pretty decent intact tropical storm, and that would have implications on the Bahamas and, again, eventually Florida perhaps. And then this might just keep on going right into the Gulf. It seems less likely that this does a recurve up to the north. There's probably a smaller chance that this impacts, say, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, Myrtle Beach area. Then there's probably a lower chance of that than it kind of going west and perhaps coming into the Gulf of Mexico. All of this is days away. There's a lot of question marks with this. If you have friends or family that are vacationing or maybe live down in the southeast, especially Florida and perhaps into the Gulf Coast region, this definitely bears watching. in the coming days. All right, back here at home, and now that Panerathon is done, our next big local event is, of course, the Canfield Fair, the largest county fair in the state of Ohio, kicking off this Wednesday and taking us right through Labor Day. Stark contrast to last year, which was a hot one. This year's not going to be hot. It's not going to be that humid, and I don't think it rains very much at all. In fact, our rain chances are probably less than 20% each and every day. So overall, the weather impacts Wednesday through Monday all in the low range. It's a really nice forecast for the fair this year, with daytime temperatures in the 70s, evening temperatures. If you're going to be spending some evenings at the fair, it'll be cooling off out of the 70s into the 60s each evening, eventually ending up in the 50s. I have posted no chances for rain here in the forecast. Now, one or two of these days, perhaps especially Friday, might there be a 10 to 20% chance of a passing shower? Yes, I didn't think it was worth putting in the forecast just yet, but yeah, that's possible that one or two of these days there might be some stray raindrops. But impactful rain, thunderstorms, something that's going to be really a big deal, seems very unlikely at the fair this year. I'll have more on Canfield Fair weather this year, and we'll look back at previous years in future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks this week. We'll have more updates on the tropics as well, and I'll start looking a little more at the longer range and into the September forecast later on this week on Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for checking out tonight's video. I'll see you back here, same time, same place on Tuesday.